Hi, I'm Sara Hey with Bob Clements International, and I am coming back to you with part 2 of our mini-series on seasonal ordering, brought to you by our friends at Ideal Computer Systems. Now, the second most common question I have been getting over the last few months was, Sara, what is the 2023 season going to look like, and how does that affect my ordering? Well, for clarity's sake, I don't have a crystal ball. What I have is more of a magic 8-ball with some really good information behind it. And so we've got to look at this 2023 season under that lens. So even if you've already done your ordering, now is the time that you have the opportunity to reset or adjust as we're going into peak season. What we're seeing internally as we're working with over 7,000 dealers across the country is that the trend is moving back to the 2019 numbers across the board, okay? So we've had these few really wild years that have happened where we've had way more demand than we've had inventory, but the supply-demand thing is flipping right now, and we're moving to this place we have enough inventory to meet demand, but demand is going down from where we were the last 2 years back to 2019 numbers. So if you were in business in 2019, I would encourage you to go look at your 2019 numbers and make our projections and our inventory orders based on those numbers. While this may feel like a downturn for you, 2019 for many dealers was one of the highest grossing years in the previous 3 to 5 years before that. So while it feels like with 2020 through 2022, we're like, oh my gosh, we've had all of these insane sales. Yeah, that's true. But if we move back to the 2019 numbers, we are still at the peak for where we were post-pandemic, which is an insane thing in and of itself. After 2019, we start seeing these numbers go up a little after a little after a little. And that's where I see this trajectory going for the industry as a whole. So as we're looking at what we should be doing for our seasonal ordering or even mid-season ordering, look at your 2019 numbers. They will be your best friend and your guide in the midst of this. Now, if you're using Ideal, you have an easy button for your 2019 numbers. Pull those numbers as a guide, and I understand that there are some minor things that you can do to not only make sure that we're taking advantage of those 2019 numbers, which you're simply going to pull from your software, but ways to maximize profit in the other parts of your dealership. Specifically, what I think is getting ready to happen is that as we are moving in a space back a little bit with the unit sales, I expect to see service and parts continue to grow and be a major profit center for many dealerships around the country. This is for a few reasons. Number one, we have this group of consumers who have bought units over the last 2 to 3 years who are going to need to start taking care of them. That is a win for us, my friends. And so as they are bringing units in, we want to make sure that we're adding an extra 5% on all of the parts we're selling through the service department. Because it costs us more to sell a part through the service department than it does to a counter customer. Now, our friends at Ideal have made this incredibly easy for you and have put an easy button in their software. Literally. There is a button that when you sell a part to the service department, you simply click the button and it adds 5% on the parts you sell to the service department. Now you can adjust that number up or down, but I would say the majority of dealers we're working with have 5% as their minimum. So as you're looking at the 2023 season, look back to your 2019 numbers and make an educated prediction of what your season is going to look like in comparison to those numbers.